One day when you're not in the exact environment that you are now, maybe one day you'll be able to do those things. But what if it was now? What if it doesn't have to wait till one day? What if there's part of you that is like begging to become the person that you've always dreamed of being, but the things that are holding you back is the conditioning and the people around you that are disempowering you? Environment is everything. Hello, beautiful, wonderful, majestic souls of YouTube. My name is Dan. This is my channel, That Good Tarot, where we do timeless readings for anyone with any placements. If you've made your way to this reading, I do believe there is a message in here for you. However, if you don't resonate with this reading, that's cool. That's chill. Go check out my channel. There are so many other readings there, and I'm sure you'll find something that fits you. I do have the window open today, so you might hear a little bit more background noise than you usually do, but that's okay. We can let some affirmations, some validations in with the car honking and stuff like that. Hope you're all doing well. Before I get into this reading, I just want to remind you that I am doing a free reading giveaway. There are going to be 2 lucky winners to the free reading giveaway. Entries close on the 14th of December. To enter the competition, all you need to do is subscribe to this channel and comment good in the comments below. I will let you know when you have been added to the list. So yeah, it's a 30-minute video reading. I'll get in contact with you. You just tell me 1 or 2 things that you want us to focus on, and I'll send you a little link. I really enjoy doing personal readings. I initially wasn't too sure about doing them, but when I started doing them, I'm like, oh, this feels so good to be able to connect to your energies on like a one-on-one level. So yeah, we have just one like theme that came through on the download. It was just one very potent message that came through. Hold on, I feel okay, that's better. The message was, environment is everything. The big thing coming through at the moment is that your influences, the places that you are and the people that you're around, the way that they influence you is beyond what you think is possible. And if you have been around the same places and the same people for long enough, you might think that maybe you're the problem or you're the thing that needs to change. But like, there is a level of conditioning that happens around you with the opinions around you, the practices, the habits, the priorities, the values around you that impact you on such a deep level. We have horns honking at that, beeping at that, affirmations there. It really does affect you on such a deep level, and that really wants to be pulled to the front at the moment. That is the only thing on the download, but that is everything. We're really going to dig deep into this whole idea of like, your environment is everything. It's such a cliched kind of thing, but the reason why it's cliched is because it's true. You are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. You have to be really, really conscious about these things, because you need to watch out who is coming into your space. The door just started opening like that, and I got a feeling. You need to be really conscious about the people that you are letting into your space, because when you are letting someone into your space, you are letting someone into your mind. And I feel like for some of you, there has been a conditioning, there has been a manipulation that has been going around, that has been affecting the way that you see yourself. And it might not be so overt. Like for some of you, it could be really overt in bullying or disempowering you, but sometimes it's just limiting what you think you are capable of, limiting what you think you are able to do. We have 8 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles. In the right environment, especially with you by yourself, look at all these pentacles, look at all of this abundance. I really feel like for a lot of you, you may have stepped out of a really negative space and you're starting to realize, holy F, I am capable of so much. I didn't realize I was so smart. I didn't realize I was so adaptable. I didn't realize I was so entrepreneurial. That is what you are stepping into here. And if you are not in this space where you're feeling this, you're being asked to, at this time, reclaim some of your time, reclaim some of yourself. Make sure you are doing something in your life where you are steady within yourself, steady in your environment. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is being alone. This is doing something that is only with you involved and not bringing anyone else into it. It might be starting a channel. Like, for me, this is one of the ways that I reinforce who I am outside of anyone else's influence, because no one else in my life has anything to do with this. No one has any say on how I do anything, whether or not I'm capable of anything. This is just one of the many things in my life that is, I do this and it's only me. There is no one that can put me down. There is no one that I am depending on to lift me up and to validate me. This is me on my own. And you need to have those things so that you can make sure that any environment that you go into, that you are steady, you are growing, you are knowing what you are capable of. You are knowing your own strength. Sometimes you need to be alone to realize like how strong you can truly be. Sometimes it can be a job, a role, a type of career that you think is bringing you a level of success. Maybe it feels comfortable to say that that's your job and that's your role, because it can feel accomplished, but it's kind of a security blanket. Like what would you do if you didn't have that? How much harder would you push yourself if you didn't have that there? Would there be a small business that you start? Are there plans that you always wanted to follow through on that you just haven't because you've been too busy with something else? Are there ways that you wish you could be, but maybe you don't quite allow yourself to go there because you have kind of this safety net around you that means you never have to push yourself that hard? It's always kind of like a nice idea for later. Maybe one day. And that's true. Maybe one day when you're not in the exact environment that you are now, maybe one day you'll be able to do those things. But what if it was now? What if it doesn't have to wait till one day? What if there's part of you that is like begging to become the person that you've always dreamed of being, but the things that are holding you back is the conditioning and the people around you that are disempowering you? Environment is everything. Let's pull some more cards. I feel like for a lot of you, we're getting a lot of these pentacles coming up, and I do feel like there might be some kind of financial abundance blockage here. And again, it is coming back to environment is everything. If you're thinking like, why can't I make this shift? Why can't I get to the next level? You're not in the right place. That's why. And the things around you, the places around you, the things around you, you might think that that is where you'll be able to grow. That's actually where you're capped. Where you are, if it hasn't changed in the last 2 or 3 years, there's nothing there for you. There's no more that you can do. There's nothing more that you can add. There's nothing more that they can give to you if it hasn't changed in the last 2 to 3 years. 2 of Swords, Ace of Wands. You are blocked, and what is going to break through this block is you on your own with your own creativity, your own idea. This is what is coming towards you. And you've had it all along, but it can be so hard and so scary to like break out of the norm and allow yourself to be in this space where when things are unsure, when you're not sure what's going to come for you. I would liken it to like, and this might be the case for some of you, it might be a relationship thing where sometimes you stay with a job or a person that you know isn't the best for you, but you know feels safe. And being with them or going back to them, actually, it's so much easier because it feels safer than facing an entirely different reality. And it can, and I've been in that position with jobs, with relationships, where the unknown is scarier than the safety that I felt in being disempowered, being manipulated. That was the devil I knew, you know? Sorry, I'm just gonna get the door, oh my gosh. That disempowerment, I knew that. I knew how to handle that, and it was hell, and it kept me trapped. And I didn't even realize that, like, even though I knew it and I was dealing with it and I was coping with it, the actual, like, psychological effect that environment had on me. And even if I'm not talking about, like, an abusive relationship, I'm talking about a workplace environment where you're undervalued or you're not seen for the potential that you can bring, or you are kind of shut down, invalidated, treated just like a number. You start to treat yourself like that, but the fear of going out and not having that environment to fall back on, because in all of these environments, whether it's a relationship or a workplace, like, you stay because there is good. And things and places and people, generally speaking, they're not all good and they're not all bad. Like, good people do bad things. Bad people can do good things. And that's often why people stay in unhealthy relationships, because there are good things that kind of give evidence, and we end up like gaslighting ourselves to think like this is the place for us and they're finally changing and they're actually a good person deep down. Nah. No. For those people that relate, no. We learned that the hard way. 11/11. But same goes for workplaces. There are really great workplaces that sometimes aren't the best, and there are bad workplaces, bad environments that are disempowering and invalidating, and don't care and potentially unethical, that can do good things. And that's how we can gaslight ourselves to stay in a bad situation. But baby, you deserve the best. You actually deserve everything to be amazing. And sometimes things can be hard and things can be draining and things can be new and be a challenge and be in struggle. But generally speaking, amazing and empowering for you. That's what you deserve. That's what you deserve, and you should be taking nothing less. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles. The time is now for you to venture out onto your own. The time is now for you to walk the path that no one around you is walking. I don't know why this is coming up, but I feel like some of you might be looking at doing a course. This has kind of come up, but the things that are kind of popping up to me is like some kind of like more online course or a short course. Some of you might be thinking of that, or like a retreat type of course. Maybe it's a yoga teaching type thing. Do the thing that no one else around you is doing. Do the things that you've always wanted to do. Just do it. Just make it happen. Because even in you learning that thing, you going down that path, especially if it is a short course or something like that you're looking into, maybe it's a short business course, a supplemental skill course, whatever that happens to be, you will find out after doing that whether or not that's for you, whether or not that's resonating with you. And you have never lost anything by doing that. You learning more about yourself is not a bad thing. That is always worth it. But it's time for you to focus on you. Really, really focus on you and stop giving your effort and energy into things that are honestly draining you and are using your energy for their benefit. I really feel like some of you are in environments where you're giving and you're giving and you're giving, and the people that are really winning, the people that are really profiting, are the people above you. Are the people kind of in leadership, the people on the corporate side. Like, okay, I'm hearing the ringing in my ears. Yeah, there are people above you that benefit from you and your beautiful energy being someone that's interfacing with the public. I know this is getting a little bit specific, but I feel like for some of you, you're the one that's at the front. You're the one facing the public. You are literally part of the beautiful face of this company, of this entity, of this institution. And these people who are not doing that, who are, earning the most and just riding on essentially your coattails, getting to literally financially get the abundance while you're getting peanuts. But the reason why people are going back to that institution, reason why they're going back to that company buying that product, is because of you and your beautiful warmth, your beautiful energy. And they're benefiting from it. And they're undervaluing you. They're disempowering you. No. We're not, okay. I feel this energy coming from the universe where it's like, we've had enough, babes. Like, we're done. We're actually done with this. You're done with that. You're done with this. You're done with this person. You're done with this place. You're done. You know why? Because we're coming to the end of the year. We're coming to the end of the year. And I feel like y'all have been through so many big shifts this year. You have been through it. I feel like this is coming to the end of a long chapter of you having had enough. You knowing your worth, you listening to yourself, you realizing yourself, you connecting to yourself, you honoring yourself. And at the end of this journey, you need to go. We're hearing those motorcycles. You're moving forward now. You're not taking the stuff with you. What's the difference between a motorbike and a car? You're taking less. You're taking less baggage. They drop that baggage. They're taking the necessary items with them. And they're zooming through that traffic. They're moving so fast, and that's you right now. You are moving so fast, and that is why the energy coming at you is like, and we're done. And we're done over here. You know your worth. You honor your energy. You listen to yourself. You're done. And that's why your guides, the universe is just like, we are not taking this with us to 2024. We're just not. We haven't come this far to take all this BS with us next year. Now, this is like obviously a timeless reading. Take this how you will for the time that you are watching it, or the time that the reading came to you. But this, for those people who are watching it in December 2023, we're not taking it with us. We're not taking this energy with us. We're not taking the practice of us putting ourselves in places where we are undervalued with us. No. There are places and there are people that will see your shine, that will see your worth, and they will run to it, and they will... You have so much to offer. You have so much to offer just in general with your energy, but like, you have value to offer, and there are people that will pay you for your expertise, for your energy, for your services, for the way that you are able to interface with people. There are employers that will see that. There is public, customers, clients that will see that. There are people that will see that, okay? And if you feel like you're not being seen, sorry, I'm like realizing I'm like not quite centered. People will see your value, and if they're not seeing it where you are now, no, we're not doing it. We're just not doing it. We're not taking it with us. I would love to know what your kind of, not resolutions, that's not what I'm trying to get at. I feel like resolutions can be good, but I feel like trying to imbue a new habit or a new practice, I feel like that should be done at any point, and all of these things are practices. I really see as a musician, and of course as a teacher for many years, practice is everything. You know, everything is practice. So I don't see there being a start time or a failure progression or anything. It's like you keep going with anything. So resolutions I don't super vibe with, but what I do like to think about, whether or not it is fully implemented or not, but just again setting an intention of like, what am I not taking with me? What has this year taught me that I will not be taking with me? What is something that I have realized about myself where I realize that I deserve better, and I'm not taking this other thing with me? This is something I'm letting go of. What is something that you are letting go of? What is something you are not taking with you into 2024? It could just be like, I'm not taking critical internal monologues. I'm not going to be as harsh on myself. That time of my life is done, and I'm not taking that with me into 2024. Maybe it's like, you know, I used to really hide my body under clothes, and it makes me feel like crap, and I've realized I'm beautiful all the time, always. I'm not hiding my body. That's something I'm leaving 2023. I'm not taking that into 2024. Maybe it's spending way too much time on your phone. I'm going to try and be more aware of that. So I'm going to install an app, and those like procrastination habits and that form of self-sabotage, that's not coming with me. I'm leaving that in 2023. It's not coming with me into 2024. And these are just intentions, and all of these things are practices, but I would love to know down below, what are you not taking with you? Something that I am not taking with me is disrespect. I'm not taking that with me. Something else that I'm not taking with me is unethical, toxic behavior. Something that has been a really big theme in my life is seeing how people have manipulated me and having the courage and the bravery to cut them off. Also, in other instances, seeing how there have been predatory people within environments, especially workplaces, and making the choice to not stand by while that happened. I actually had to leave a quite well-paying job, had to blow a whistle on predatory behavior that had been going on for a decade. That is something that was truly terrifying to me, but reinforced to myself that I'm the kind of person that's going to see something and say something. I'm the kind of person that is going to have the courage to not stand by while people, especially women, are being put in a place of danger. I care so much about people's safety, I will actually take action on things to protect other people. I will not stand by while predatory behavior is going on. I will not be quiet anymore. Me being quiet, I'm leaving that in 2023. That's done. That was done months ago. That is something that used to be part of my personality. I'd just kind of keep my mouth shut. I wouldn't really say anything. Not anymore. That's not coming with me. That's not coming with me. I want to know what's not coming with you. What is something that you are leaving behind this year? Or setting the intention to. It could be valuing yourself. It could be putting yourself first. It could be prioritizing. I want to hear it. I want to hear, what are you not taking with you in 2024? This whole idea of not taking something with me, I think it really came about because we have a reverse card. Okay. We have the Three of Cups in reverse that really deliberately spun around on the table. I don't usually take reversals, but we're going to take that. The whole idea of not taking things with me came from, I partied somewhat hard in my 20s, and I am 30 now. And I kind of always had the intention, even from when I was 21, like, these are the things I'm going to do in my 20s and I'm okay with that, but they're not going to come with me when I hit my 30s. And then it got to around 28, 29, and these things were still very much a part of my life. And when I hit 30, because I had set the intention for so long, I didn't realize I was manifesting such a big change. But when I turned 30, or right before I was about to turn 30, there were huge shifts going on. It's like my mind and my body physically couldn't handle these things being around me, in my system, in my vicinity, these people as well, not just stuff, like these people. I think intention setting is so powerful. So I really invite you to take that time. Again, these are moments that I would love to have on live, so we could all journal together and like discuss it together. But like dropping in the comments will be fine as well until we can get me on a live with you guys. But that's going to take 1,000 subscribers. So please subscribe so that we can get to the point where we can do cool little live journaling sessions. We have the Three of Cups in reverse. This is exactly it. There are people, places, environments you're like, no more. Actually no more. They might feel good for a time, they might feel good for a moment, but I'm promising you right now, they won't feel as good as how free you will feel without these things around. Sometimes you need something, a reset, a new perspective, a fresh perspective, some new people around you, a sober mind, to realize that. For me, the parallel that I'm finding in your life was that I always thought that I wasn't as fun when I was sober. I thought I was better inebriated. I thought I was more funny. I thought I was a better friend, all of these things. And I felt like I was in a group of people that were also doing those things and kind of were a bit iffy about people that weren't participating in that. Or they didn't really like someone around being sober, or they were a bit of a killjoy, or they were a bit something. I felt very like kind of pressured to make sure I was doing those things. And when you do that for years, it becomes a practice. That's what I was practicing doing. It took a real shift and new people in my life to be like, Dans, you're actually not as fun when you're in that state. You're actually not as funny. You don't talk as much. And they were right. I didn't talk as much. I was so like out of it, It took a real shift for me to realize that like not only do I love and enjoy myself better sober, but people around me enjoy me more being sober. The only people that didn't want to see me sober were the people that didn't want to be sober. And I find that even on big nights out, I don't get as blackout as I used to, as I felt like I needed to in order to communicate with people. In fact, I'm more fun, I'm more engaging, I'm more friendly, I'm more conversational, but it can be a bit of a trip. I feel like this must be really specific for some people, because I feel like, I don't know why I'm talking about these things, because it's been a while since I've kind of thought about these things, but it can be hard to accept. And it feels weird thinking that it's hard to accept, but it feels counterintuitive when, you know, being in an altered state is your norm and everyone around you is kind of doing that. But you're actually a better person. You're more fun. You're more witty. You're funnier when you're not inebriated, when you're not in an altered state. You actually are. You just need to be around the right people in the right environment. And now, if I look back on how I used to spend literally every day of my life, I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I got anything done. I didn't get much done. Wasn't until I stopped doing that like the progress that I've made in the percentiles with my music, with my business, like crazy. How making the shift away from certain places, certain people, the way that like everything has shot up, the trajectory that I'm on is actually insane. Again, this is speaking to how environment is everything, because you fully have the capability to do everything that you want to do and move forward like those motorbikes outside. You have everything you need. You have the resources, you have the intelligence, you have the strength, you have the adaptability to do all of these things. The last factor is your environment. Is your environment conducive to that? And it's not even like, will those people allow you to do that? Are those people encouraging you to be the person that you need to be to achieve those things? Is that environment helping you feel calm? Is that environment helping you feel validated, empowered, strong, worthy, wanted? These are things that you kind of need to feel in order to push yourself forward. And if you don't have people like that around, you're never going to feel like you're wanted, you're empowered, you're adaptable, especially if you're in an environment that makes you very emotionally heightened on a regular basis. If there is someone or something that is making you feel anxious regularly, you're never going to be able to step fully into your power. Because you might have moments where you feel powerful and you feel so great, but if twice or 3 times a week you're having to go through like an emotional breakdown, then it means that at every point of the week, even though there are high points, majority of your week is just spent picking yourself back up and putting yourself back together, making you feel okay enough where you can enjoy being yourself again, only for inevitably someone to come along and like tear you down again, make you feel like you're being over emotional, that you feel like it's your fault. And if you're in that state, like how are you ever supposed to build something, or even feel like you could? It takes a lot of healing. It takes a lot of healing to let yourself be in a state where things aren't wrong. When you aren't wrong. Queen of Swords, everything is fine. All of these swords in your back, all of these emotional things, you need to gain control over your environment. Instead of being in an environment where people are constantly picking at you, stabbing at you, disempowering you silently or overtly, you need to be the one to be like, no, I have my skills, I have my goals, and no one has the power to disempower me. And if people have the power to disempower you, if people have the control over your emotions like that, you have the control to remove yourself from their presence. That can be really hard. It doesn't have to be cut them off. It doesn't have to be. But think again about what I said of like how much of your week is spent just picking yourself back up. How long does it take after there's been an emotionally heightened experience? How long does it take for you to re-regulate yourself? And how many times a week does that happen? And if you could lessen that by half, if you could lessen that to once a month, you would be doing so much better. But I'm going to tell you, as someone who's gone through that process and weaned off people and places, you will start to feel so good, so secure. You will start getting so much done that your tolerance for their BS is going to disappear. You will not take that anymore. You will not take the manipulation. You will not take the disempowerment like you used to. And sometimes you take it because you're in constant survival mode. Like, babes, this is all about you. Like, you will succeed when you get yourself out of survival mode. And sometimes when you're in survival mode and you've been that way for years, you don't realize that you're in survival mode. You just feel like that's what life is. And you're just struggling with it because you're deficient. That's not the case. It's actually not the case. It's actually not supposed to be that hard. Life isn't actually supposed to be that hard. Man, I feel like I've been dropping some big harsh lessons recently. I know I did a big love reading before that was like, they're not good enough for you. Stop fucking around with them. And it didn't do super well. I feel like the people who resonated with it was amazing, but I also feel like some people don't want to hear that. Some people don't want to hear that you deserve better. Some people honestly don't want to hear, or they're not ready to hear that you deserve better, but you deserve better. And this is one of those readings where you deserve better. So I don't know. I hope that these readings do well purely because I want these types of messages to get to people. I want yes, the urgency. Everyone run to this reading and hear this message because this is important. But these aren't flowery messages. These can be really hard things to hear, and if you're not in a place where you can hear it, you will reject it. You will ignore it. And I know that I have definitely been in a place where I have ignored messages from people around me being like, Dance, this isn't okay. You deserve better. What are you doing? I've made all types of excuses. The things we do in survival mode, if you feel like this is you and you're realizing now, oh my God, maybe I'm in survival mode and I haven't even known it. And you are the kind of person that gets into an emotionally heightened state so many times in a week, and you're realizing that all you're doing is regulating and you're not actually living, but you've been doing that so long you feel like that's living. Start to have a look at it. Have a look at it and treat yourself with so much forgiveness, and know that there are so many people here, and I myself, so much compassion for that position. It's a hard one to be in, but I'm sure that everyone else who's been through that also knows that like the change is good. That which is true will always be enough. Truth, honor, empress, integrity. That which is true will always be enough. Your truth is always going to be enough. You saying exactly what you think is always going to be enough. And if it isn't enough for someone, they are not for you. They are not. And you will know who is for you and who is not for you. That when you speak your truth, do they hear you? Do they give you the respect and honor enough just to hear what you're saying? If they deny, if they rebuke, if they rebut, no. Nope. No. But I feel like some of these there were some messages in the next download that were some inline ones. So if you are watching this, watch out for the next one as well, because it gets a little bit more. I know that this one is mostly just about the environment, but I feel like the one after this was getting a little bit more specific, and I will be batch reading for the next couple of days because I'm going to a festival this weekend, so I'll be away for 3 days. I won't get a chance to do readings, and I want to make sure I'm not leaving too much of a gap for you guys. All right. Any more? Thank you. This card is the past, and it reads, "And so I listened as my soul told me to let the past go, so that I may awaken to how much I have grown. Releasing, rebirth, spring." There is the way that, like, with this imagery, with this little seedling and how she is crying, and then those tears are watering the plant that grows and ignites the fire and brings the life back into her. This is the rebirth. This is the pain, and everything that you have learned from this time will inform the next version of yourself, the warrior version of yourself, the highly empathic, intuitive, compassionate version of yourself, the version of you that has always been there and has been waiting to bloom, that is just wanting to be set free once you break out of survival mode. Let's get into the last batch of oracle cards. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really get so much out of giving you these readings and receiving your messages from the universe and from your guides. So I am so grateful that there is such a beautiful golden energy coming from this Good Good collective. I think it's in the name. It really has brought such a beautiful cohort of people towards this collective, and I'm grateful for it every day. Okay, let's get into it. Priestess, how are you being called up to step up and lead? There is part of you, this came up in the last reading, there is part of you that wants to fight, that wants to battle your way out, that wants to scream, that wants to say, this is unfair and this isn't okay. And that version of you, every time you press her down, press them down, every time you suppress them, you are suppressing the strongest part of yourself. You might ruffle feathers. You might kick up a fuss. You might be stirring the pot. You might be breaking outside of what is normal. But in doing so, you are literally giving birth to the strongest version of yourself. Mirror, who or what is triggering you? There needs to be some very real conversations with yourself, and you are not seeing yourself clearly. Like I said at the start, make sure that if you are looking to start yourself on this journey or maintain this journey and make sure you are strong in this, make sure you have something that is your own. Make sure you have something that is your own where you can constantly validate yourself, reinforce who you are to yourself. Strong, intelligent, adaptable, talented, personable, confident. Reinforce this place. Make sure once a week at least you are spending time in this space with yourself, knowing yourself as this version of yourself, not the version of yourself that is projected on you by other people. If you have been through this process of breaking out of survival mode, and this is resonating with you because this is something that you have been through, and you're like, yes, Dans, I understand this journey, I understand where you're coming from. If you have any practices that have really helped you, please drop it into the comments below. If there are people who are like, I don't know what I'm doing, like I want there to be a community here where we can help lift each other up. I obviously have my ways of getting through that, and I'm sure you have a lot of really valuable advice to give as well, so drop it down in the comments below. Go read through those comments. If there may be things there from everyone that might be able to help you. Don't forget that I am doing a free reading giveaway. 2 lucky winners will win. That will be announced on December 15th, December 16th. So just subscribe to this channel and comment good if you want to enter to win a free reading. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next one.